It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam. This is Paul from Idaho. Just wondering, when are you going on Gavin Newsom's new podcast? All right, get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I have not gotten the invite yet, and I don't suspect I will, but who knows?
I think you will.
All right. Well, we shall see.
Crossed.
All right. News.
Mayor Bass, her election opponent, says recall effort against her is not a good idea. The Los Angeles businessman who ran against Karen Bass in the 2022 election announced his opposition Tuesday to the recall effort to unseat her as the city's mayor.
That's Rick Caruso.
Real estate magnate, former mayoral candidate Rick Caruso released a statement about the recall effort, calling it a costly political distraction in the aftermath of January's deadly wildfires.
It's always funny what we have to do in L.A. is we're so blue that Rick Caruso has to run as a Democrat. But then people like my mom is like, he's not a real Democrat, like, because he's smart and wants to do shit and is efficient. We need someone. He's pretending to be dumb, but he's not really dumb. Like, he's not really feckless and dumb like Karen Bass. He's a smart guy pretending to be dumb, so I'll vote for him. Well, it's not going to work.
Yes, he's using the retarded filter.
Yeah, he's using the retarded filter. So we went, I know we only vote for Democrats, but that guy, he builds stuff and makes payrolls and is smart and effective. Don't give me that Democrat bullshit. I know a Democrat when I see one, and that's her. Where's our plane ticket to Ghana, by the way? We got to celebrate. Like he would never go to Ghana and put on ceremonial garb during a windstorm. That's us, baby. So don't let it fool you. He's not real.
How cool and smooth is it of him to like say, no. Let's rebuild L.A. And then, it kind of really makes him look good.
But if they do a recall of her, is it him or is it just some other ditzy broad who's going to be
no one on the ballot? It's just we vote for a recall and then we go to the election.
It's
so Rick
process.
Caruso kind of has a point. Something I think we have his video. You should listen to his explanation.
Is somebody the front runner? Because he said he's not doing it again.
He hasn't said. Well, also you got to think there's a governor race in California in 2026. Yeah. Why wouldn't Rick Caruso want to be the fucking governor of California and not,
because Kamala Harris is a retarded woman of color, and that's who we want to govern us, versus a non-retarded white guy who would do a good job.
Boring.
But by the way, we don't look like heroes. Electing a white guy who's good.
It's funny. When I first saw this headline, I'll see if I can find the exact headline, but it was the Los Angeles Times, and they couched the headline as if Rick Caruso was supporting Karen Bass.
All right,
let's listen to this.
If you're going to do a recall now, what's going to happen is the city is going to end up spending $25 to $30 million, which it doesn't have because we've already been told that the city's broke. And then it's going to take 8 to 10 months, and it's going to run up to the June primary. And people in June are going to have an opportunity to vote for or against the mayor. And so why do it now? And I think it's a waste of money, waste of resources. And one last thing. We've got so many things the mayor needs to deal with in this city and deal with it well with a lot of focus. Rebuilding in the Palisades. We still have a major homeless problem. All of these kind of things. The crime, it's going to be a diversion to her and her team. And we don't need her attention diverted right now.
Yeah. In a backhanded way. No, he's supporting Los Angeles. He's not supporting Karen Bass. I respect that.
Another thing I heard Randy Wang on KABC say is that if she's under a recall while in office, she can use city funds to defend herself and thus double dip where Perfect. So it's like, okay, Caruso, stop being smart, but I agree with him.
All right. And he's also saying by the time we get all up in this, we'll be at the next.
We'll be voting anyway.
We'll be voting anyway. All right.
But everyone wants a pound of flesh, and I understand that. And everyone, everyone wants to get her out. But
all right. What else you got, man?
All right. Look, in horrific news, grandmother mauled to death by pit bulls that were high on cocaine.
No.
Yeah, there's a lawsuit. An Ohio grandmother was mauled to death by her neighbor's pit bulls, which were later found to be high on cocaine, according to the lawsuit. This story is just maddening.
This sounds like a perfect sequel to the movie Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, no, the dogs got high on coke and got out before, and they caught him and gave him back, and they were in the process of getting rid of this guy's pit bulls, and they once again got into the coke stash and mauled this lady who was just minding her own business and working in the community garden.
The community garden.
Yeah, her disabled husband watched as this happened.
I was sure it wasn't a filter. He's like, he just didn't want to help. He just was like, I can't.
Yeah, no.
I can't help.
The disabled husband, I guess, well, first off, what's he even doing? Like, I'm going to watch you till soil while I sit here? Like, it's kind of a weird thing for a disabled person to watch somebody do.
Well, no, I mean, I'm pretty sure he wasn't watching her garden. I think he came out as the dogs were mauling the lady, kind of helpless to do anything.
Man.
He should have created a diversion. He should have come out with some meat.
Yeah.
And just was like, hey, over here, you know?
Heroin or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
Pitbulls
the guy's son, oh man, the dead woman's son, Bill Rogers says, how do you not look at them as the villain responsible for killing your mom about the dogs? I don't know, man. This one gets me fired up. My mom likes the garden. If somebody's man, they would not make it to the prison. You know what I mean?
And pit bulls are kind of bad
your
enough.
mom together
my mom,
while gardening.
nothing could stop me from getting this guy.
Well, we've established that your mom was a sandwich maker.
Yes.
Whereas
My mom was a saint.
I don't have
a
as strong of feelings about saving my mom from pit bulls. 'Cause she's not a sandwich. She was not a sandwich maker.
You
have to ask yourself, was your mom a sandwich maker? If the answer is yes, then there was love. There was great love. Was your mom a sandwich maker?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jellies, but she did make sandwiches.
The act of sandwich making is the act of love. I've really been thinking about it.
Wow.
It's like you take time, you get things out, you sort of
Yeah.
lay it out, and it's all spreading the love around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
So your
not just
mom
spreading the
didn't-
creamy Jif. It's spreading the love.
Your mom didn't make you sandwiches?
Well, there were sandwich issues at my house.
Really?
Yeah, because sandwiches would require sliced bread and not 14 grain unsprouted whole wheat hippie bread.
Oh, okay.
Whole wheat hippie bread doesn't work. And when you so if you take Wonder Bread, you take white bread, and then you take this sort of processed Peter Pan peanut butter or Skippy
Yeah.
smooth, you just take that shit out and it just glides like a Zamboni right over the top of that shit. Okay. If you take 17 grain unsprouted whole wheat bread and lay that shit,
It's rocky.
first off, good luck even getting it to sit flat. It does what it wants, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get the unblanched, unsalted, raw health food peanut butter
mix
with
it
no
up.
stabilizers in it. It's got its oil slick at the top.
Yep.
You take that shit and you try to rub it on that bread, it rolls over the top of it and eventually turns into a wheel, and it just sucks up gravel. Then you get to the end, and then you have to treat it like silly putty on the funny pages. You have to spread it out, like,
With your
try
hands.
to press it down. You know, it's like putting a toupee on or something. Like stick it down, and then there's no Smucker's grape jelly because all that is corn syrup and purple dye number 14. You got honey.
Oh, no.
And the honey ain't the squeeze bear. No squeeze bear. That's plastic. It's a jar of honey.
yeah.
So now you got to take the fucking knife out and try to spread the honey over the top of the 14 grain, and then you bite in it, and the fucking bread falls apart, and everything drips. The honey,
dry ass mouth.
No air conditioning in the house. San
No air
Fernando Valley, 108 degrees outside. The fucking honey's drip. It's liquefied. It's dripping
Oh, my
everywhere.
God.
No sandwich. All right, good. That's peanut butter and jelly.
Wow.
Well, what about
Cold cuts.
What about ham?
Yeah.
What about cold? Meat is murder, bro.
Oh, no.
You think you're going to have a bunch of fucking Oscar Mayer cold cuts and pre-sliced cheese and shit with
bologna.
fucking mayonnaise? No. That's
Damn.
meat is murder. You know, and also cold cuts, I mean, they're kind of ubiquitous now. But cold cuts were a big ticket item back then. That wasn't cheap. You had to go to the fucking deli and get the guy to slice the provolone and slice the smoked ham. No fucking way. There's no way that was happening. They didn't even really... They sold like bologna, which my mom would have never done because that's the man, processed and everything else. So now you've eliminated turkey, you've eliminated ham. You have a kind of place saver peanut butter, but not really. It's not. You guys don't know what it's like to eat a health food peanut butter sandwich.
I've had
That's
that.
the fuck. And by the way, as soon as you bite it, it welds to the top of your mouth.
Yeah.
Spend the whole fuck. You get one bite, 20 minutes later, you're still chewing it like cud. You're just 14 grain bread. You got your fucking finger out. You're trying to peeling it off the top of your mouth. It is not the peanut butter sandwich you're thinking of.
No.
Yeah.
It's a shit show.
Wow.
So there's no sandwich.
But you grew up in such a healthy house, it sounds like.
No.
The problem is then you get an unhealthy appetite for the good stuff when you leave the house. You know what I mean? And that's where the problem comes in. But look, let's not make it about me.
I should have brought you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Ooh.
You know what I argue about? I think I wrote about it in one of my books, but it's really the only sandwich that gets better with time. Like,
yes,
you could make it at 7 a.m. and put it in your bag and go to school. And at noon, it's better.
Yeah, even if it's mush,
other
you sit on
sandwiches
it.
decline over that.
Yes.
These actually, the oil emulsifies with the bread a little bit.
It becomes one.
Yeah,
You're right.
but not this sandwich. Not the health food one. The health food one you can't even transport. It's too heavy.
No,
Can't move it.
Yeah,
And it falls apart. You know, Wonder Bread's a little chewy, like got a little doughiness in it. The 17 grain sprouted shit, it just fucking falls apart.
The Ezekiel bread, I've had it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And the peanut butter doesn't keep it bound together. That just rolls. It's a shit show.
It falls off. Yeah.
In ice cream news, Ben & Jerry's is accusing its parent company, Unilever, of breaching its merger agreement by ousting the ice cream company's CEO for the brand's repeated public comments on progressive issues, removing its chief executive without the board's approval. So
Ben & Jerry's is so woke and so progressive. It's so
unfortunate.
weird.
Yeah, I haven't bought from them in years.
Oh, really?
No, it's just they've been woke for quite some time now, and it's like, thank God for Haagen. I was like, if Haagen-Dazs pulls this shit, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. So it's really like one company was pro-choice, Ben & Jerry's, and then one company built ovens that Jews were put in World War II. Right. And Chrissy's like, I'm going with the Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah.
Haagen-Dazs sounds like a camp in Poland, doesn't it?
Know.
My great-grandfather was rounded up and taken to Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah.
And he's put on a cattle train and he was taken straight to Haagen-Dazs.
The Haagen-Dazs camp.
Yeah,
Spent the whole war there.
My grandpa almost died at Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah.
He fell off the guard tower.
My great uncle helped liberate Haagen-Dazs in 1944.
When we rolled over Haagen-Dazs, Hitler was running.
But I really am German. My dad's side is German, and my dad's dad was a German soldier. And I was like, was grandfather a Nazi, Dad? And he was telling me, like, well, the Nazis were the top of the top. Like, they were the alpha, like, best. And, grandfather was, like, not. But he was, I don't know. He might have been who knows? He was probably Nazi adjacent. He was.
It's kind of a good thing. Like, I wasn't smart enough to be a Nazi. Mm-hmm. Like, where you go, oh, you're doing that. It's kind of like people have a defense where they go sometimes like, I didn't know the guy couldn't operate a tractor. It's like, you should have known I was stupid and too stupid to drive a tractor. Yeah. Like, oh, I like when you're claiming it, you know?
Yeah.
But, where is Haagen-Dazs out of?
Yeah, it's definitely a German word. No,
it's probably an American company.
Oh, it is now, but it started as something. It had to start as
the
something.
Nazis would eat ice cream after they, killed Jews.
Oh my God!
It was invented by Ruben Mattis, the founder of the brand. Danish. Tribute to Denmark's treatment of Jews during World War II. What? No way. Hold on. Let me read this again. The name Haagen-Dazs was invented by Ruben Mattis, the founder of the brand to sound, the founder of the brand, comma, to sound Danish as a tribute to Denmark's treatment of Jews during World War II. Though it's a made-up word. Hold on a second, I'm trying to read here. Though it's a made-up word with no real meaning in Danish, founded in 1960 by Ruben and Mattis in the Bronx,
Wow.
New York, with the goal of creating high-quality ice cream. So they're in the Bronx, and no one wants to have it named after something cool.
Yeah.
So they made up the word Haagen-Dazs.
Wow.
Like Yabba Dabba.
But where the hell did the Jews part come
know,
in?
yeah.
I really didn't know Jews were part of this origin story.
I told
So
you
now
were
are you
supporting
for or
it.
against
Now I'm even more
Haagen-Dazs?
for it.
Well, it's interesting you say that because Ben & Jerry's initial lawsuit filed in November 2024 alleged Unilever silenced its attempts to publicly support Palestinian refugees and resolutions to end military aid to Israel, where the company had done business since 1987.
I just feel like people who make ice cream should make ice cream, and people who make cars should make cars, and students should just be students and go to fucking college. Like, just everyone shut up. All this. By the way, I don't want Haagen-Dazs or Ben & Jerry's announcing who they support, and I don't want you telling me you're bisexual. Just go about your fucking business. Just go about. It doesn't have anything to do with me. Just show up, be a student, work here, buy that, and shut the fuck up. That's all.
That's how it used to be.
That's how it used to be. Ruben and Rose Mattis were Polish Jewish entrepreneurs who founded the Haagen-Dazs ice cream business in the United States. There is some sort of Holocaust connection, evidently. I thought I made that up.
I thought so too.
All right. What else we got?
We got another story. You know, the Gorilla, Stephen Gorillo from the Howard Stern Show wrote a book, and his big thing is Howard Stern made a political U-turn to please A-list pals.
Oh, wait. Grillo? Was it
Sounds
Steve
familiar.
Grillo?
Yeah, Gorilla. Remember, he was an intern on the Howard Stern Show before you took it over. The guy was like, he just really bagged on him a lot. He said that once he got the job, it became a nightmare with him being egged on into humiliating himself, but gave him a taste of fame.
Right. So he wrote a book, and he said what in the book?
He said he never wanted to be on the air, but Howard Stern kind of pulled him on there as an intern. Said the place was a snake pit. You never knew when you were going to get set up.
Wow.
Yeah, he was always a nervous wreck, and it got worse when they brought me on the show. I have Robin Quivers cackling in my ear, and somebody would be throwing balls of paper in my face. Then I would have Howard staring at me, his piercing blue eyes darting all over the place, trying to make me look worse than I already did.
Yeah, but he says
that, he definitely got George Pataki, elected governor of New York, and he was a big Rudy Giuliani supporter. And
but
he says it's gross to see what he's turned into. I think it's quite pathetic, to be honest.
Well, okay, so listen, I've told people this 100 million times when they sort of go, what's going on with all these Hollywood folks? If you make an announcement, you don't have to make an announcement. Your politics, if they don't align with their politics, then they won't come on your show. That's sort of their steadfast rule. That's how they do it. They've done it. They've always done it that way. And I don't know why. I don't get why that needs to happen, but that's the rule. So if you are doing a show and you announce, let's just say, I'll take somebody I don't know well, but let's just say Jimmy Fallon announced that he was voting for Trump. Now, Jimmy Fallon may have very well voted for Trump. I know somebody voted for Trump because he's the fucking president. But let's just say Jimmy Fallon announced he voted for Trump. Then he would his guest bookings would immediately dry up.
Yeah.
And then what would happen is he'd have a meeting after the show, and he'd say, is Clooney coming on Monday? And they'd go, no, Kevin Sorbo's coming on Monday. And they go, what happened? And they go, Clooney dropped out. And then they go, oh, but is Matt Damon coming on Tuesday? And they'd go, no, you remember Chachi? Remember that? Remember Scott Baio? Yeah, he's filling in. And then he'd go, wait a minute, what happened to I thought, wasn't Jane Fonda coming in on Friday? No, the chick that got thrown off the Disney, the UFC fighter. What's her name? She's, what's her name? Come on, you fought UFC.
I trained with her.
Riley Gaines is a swimmer.
Yeah.
Oh, she's Thursday.
Yeah. What about the My Pillow guy?
Oh, Mike Lindell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember I told you Jamie Foxx is coming in on? No, we got Mike Lindell.
Oh.
He's a last-minute replacement. Yeah, so that's
Rock.
next week. We're doing a whole Kid Rock week.
Ooh.
That'll be the week. The week after that is the Kid Rock
He's
week.
going to be in
Brett
studio
Favre.
and musical guest. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the new bookings. So if you'd like to be in with the Hollywood crowd, and Stern was the king of all media, but never got those people on his show.
Yeah.
So you must be more accommodating to those people. Now, I would like to live in a world where no one gave a shit and they just come on your show regardless. But those days are gone, and Trump ended them.
I don't know. I think it's coming back. I think the fact that a lot of right-wing personalities are like becoming well established, and in that sphere, people kind of have to get both sides of the eyeballs. What do you care if your movie, you know what I mean? It goes to right-wing or left-wing dollars.
Here's the thing. If the numbers are so overwhelming, if you're going on a late night show that gets, 900,000 views, or Joe Rogan that gets 21 million views, then at some point commerce kicks in and you go, I'm going to go. But that's with shows that have lots and lots of eyeballs. In a world where everything's sort of in the middle somewhere, then those shows shall be boycotted. So that's how it goes. So Stern changed his politics and then changed his bookings, and that's why he's talking to Jane Fonda and the like.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Who's a horrible person, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the worst.
It'll be interesting to see what happens after Trump, because even though Trump overwhelmingly, he's in office, most people wanted him there. It's still maybe a little bit the stink of the first term, and a lot of people still have that lingering TDS. It'll be interesting to see what happens after Trump, whoever the next president is, how partisan.
They'll keep going.
is.
No,
Yeah.
J.D. Vance, they're going to say the same thing. It's going to be a bunch of racist, misogynist talk, or whatever. It'll be the same thing. It'll be losing our democracy. It'll be the exact same. They'll do it about. They'll try it on Mitt Romney. They'll just whoever racist, they'll lose our democracy.